Hi everyone, this is Lauren coming at you from the Break Zone with another deck tech video. This one going over the Mono Earth deck that was piloted by Phillip Marciano to take second place at the last chance qualifier Dark Crystal Cup over the weekend. So this was a very interesting build. It was definitely tailored to take on aggressive decks such as Scions and Turbo Discard, and it's a very interesting and fun deck to play, as every time you take damage, you don't mind, as you have a lot of EX bursts available to you, and it's a very aggressive deck. So it's an aggressive deck that is tailored to take on other aggressive decks. So let's go over the cards that got Phillip that second place. And that allowed Phillip actually to move on to go to the North America Championship the following day and actually qualify to top 31st and finishing in the top 16. So let's go over some of the cards, such as Cecil, whatever you want to call him. Great card, as its EX burst is a little bit conditional, but a lot of cards nowadays don't have Brave. I mean, Wall is still available, of course, but some of the other aggressive decks that go for that early damage have a lot of 2-cost forwards, and so that means that Cecil can be an effective EX burst as soon as your second point of damage. So, and on top of that, I mean, he's on curve at 5-drop 9k. You don't see the special used as much, but whether you play him from your hand or you play it for free from the EX burst, it's up to you, and it will most likely be helpful. We also saw Cecil being used in the mid-late game when you've taken a couple points of damage, where it can take out a 4 or 5k fairly easily. Next up, got Gopal to make your force just a little bit bigger. You never know when you run into a couple problems, and that can deter your opponent from attacking into a singular forward. So if your opponent has a bunch of forwards coming in and you only have one blocker available, if one of the first points of damage that you take that turn is Gopal, that can actually save you one more turn. Vincent, so you might notice that some of the other forwards have enter the field abilities or allow you to play other forwards. Vincent, not quite so much, but the fact that he cannot be broken by opposing summons of abilities can protect him from things such as Mateus, Odin Dragon, but also because he enables you to play Yuffie for free. As I spoke about it, Yuffie also makes Vincent a little bit bigger and gives him Brave. And the interesting thing about Vincent and Yuffie is that when you have Vincent in play, Yuffie will be allowed to be played for free. Most of the other forwards that allow you to play free cards require you to do so that very turn. So when it comes to forwards entering the field, allowing you to play other free forwards, we'll take a look over some of the other ones in just a bit. Very few allow you to do so on following turns, but Yuffie is one of the few that will allow you to do so. Oh, and the Vincent special, by the way, can be used at times if you really need it. If your opponent is playing very efficient forwards, then Vincent can be quite useful. Next up, we've got Vanille. So a lot of your forwards are actually even cost, or maybe even just 4 cost actually. And while most of them are Earth, so guess what? Vanille allows you to play a lot of your forwards for free. She's a very good first turn play, allowing you to cheat in, you could say, some of your forwards. Next up, we've got Ursula, who is part of the combo with Yang, where you have 2 forwards that are 9k, and also Yang gets Brave, so that can be quite daunting for decks such as, let's say, Turbo Discard. So if you go second and you get to draw 2 cards instead of 1, you'll have 5 cards in hand. Let's say to discard 3 cards out of your hand. That would be enough for you to play Yang and Ursula together on the following turn, and that should be able to slow them down enough for you to get back to the game. Next up, we've got Luma. Great card when you're on the defensive, and even on the offensive can be a bit of a battering ram. Wall, great card all the time, so here he is, 3 of them, of course. Guy, very good against the ice matchup, and also can be good when an opponent has a little bit of a smaller forwards, and that way he can be good on both attack and defense. The fact that you can also he's 4 cost means that you can play him with Vanille. And last but not least, Berserker, also a 4 cost that you can play with Vanille. Since you have so many EX bursts, you don't mind leaving yourself open. You don't mind that caveat that says like he cannot block. 4 drop 9k is not too bad. Alright, so normally I'll go over summons next, but I'll go over backups because there's only 6 of them. So for the most part, you will not be playing forward backups very much. If you do play a backup, it will most likely be Raban, as Raban allows you to put in a backup, and if you have a forward in play, you will most likely be able to take one out in return. Okay. And last but not least, for backups, we've got Mustadio. You most likely will be playing him on the field. He's a little pricey, but on the EX burst, when an opponent's attacking, if they don't have Brave, obviously you'll be able to break him. Alright, next up, let's go over some of the summons. Titan has been amazing since it came in Open 6, and it's still amazing. So that's one of the reasons why you want to play Raban as a backup before you play Titan, so that now you won't have to discard 3 cards for CP in order to play it, as you'll be able to duel your Raban and discard 2 other cards to make Titan an easy 2-for-1 on blocks, or even on attack if they somehow have combat tricks. Giving your forward that plus 2k boost can sometimes be enough, and you'll also be able to take out another forward. Cockatrice. So Mono Earth sometimes has a problem with dealing with Mono Lightning. Alcid combo leaves it very vulnerable. Cockatrice can negate the damage of Alcid, thus preventing it from playing out that second forward. And also there's times when somebody's just turning all their forwards sideways to attack you. If you're able to flip a Cockatrice off the top, you'll be able to prevent one of them from attacking you that turn, or if something's in your way, you'll be able to Cockatrice it to prevent it from blocking. Atomos, so that's Earth's own version of, I guess you could say, 7-drop Odin, and it's not too bad being able to just straight break any dull forwards good, and sometimes 8,000 damage can be enough to take out, well, a couple things such as the Emperor. Zeramis, so this card's a little bit conditional. You don't see it that often, but since this deck focuses on EX burst, might as well put it in there, especially since it's mostly a Mono Earth deck. And when you can actually get it off EX burst, it can be quite a lot of CP generated. I mean, forcing your opponent to lose a forward and being able to search out any single one of your own can be quite good. And last but not least, we have Odin, one of some of people's favorite EX burst to flip off the top. Being able to just pick any single forward and break it can be quite good. You will never really care much about keeping it in your hand to play it, because the only way you're going to do it is by discarding another Odin and 3 other cards and dueling a Raban. So that's a little bit too much. So, well, here's the deck. It's very fun. You should give it a shot. The NorCal Special, as it's called, is quite a bit of fun. So if people don't know, Phillip Marciano is one of our local players in Northern California, and him along with a team of some of our players, I think it's including Brian Ing, put this deck together, and it's a lot of fun. It does really well against Turbo Discard. It does have a little problem when somebody is able to stabilize and go for more value, such as like I think it's like Layla Vikings, following by like Nidhogg or Cloud of Darkness. If they're able to slow you down, or well, as you saw in the live stream, I'll actually post a link to it below. He has a problem with Flandit, which is a card that we don't see very often, but there's a chance it becomes more popular as well. It kind of proved itself a couple times, not only at the last year's Qualifier Dark Crystal Cup, but we also saw Samsung Prime use Flandit in the day 1 live stream, I believe. So be aware of those things, and anything that requires you to pay 1 CP to prevent it, it can be quite a problem since you only have one backup if you have any at all. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to add them down below. If you like what we do, go ahead and support us by subscribing, maybe a thumbs up, something like that. Whatever, hit that bell so that you get notified whenever we put out a new video. And yeah, we're still doing giveaways, so we're aiming for, well, more and more, obviously. But the next milestone will be 800 subscribers. So since people haven't claimed any of them for a while, we still have them available. Starting off with, let's see, what do I have? Modern Masters Horizon Canopy. A Dominaria Mox Opal. We also have Cactuar sleeves. Let's see. Shiva deck box from the Toronto Crystal Cup. That was autographs by Taru Kageyama, one of the producers of the game. As well as a Lightning plushie that is still available. So once you subscribe, if you are subscribed, you will be entered to for the random pick of the giveaway when we hit 800 subscribers. Anybody that has subscribed or that is subscribed by the time we hit that milestone will be entered into the contest. So don't worry, if you've been a long-time supporter, you will be part of that giveaway. And I'd like to also thank our sponsors. Our sponsor, MatchTechGames.com, where you can go buy Final Fantasy, the trading card game singles, as well as Magic, and you're even able to trade in some of those Final Fantasy cards in for some credit, so that when Opus 7 drops, you will be able to get those spiffy new cards, such as some of the ones that we spoiled over the weekend from the Break Zone, where we're streaming the North America Championship, as well as the Last Chance Qualifier Dark Crystal Cup, such as, I think there was like, what, Snow and Sin, some of those cards that looked very interesting to some of the players. There's other cards also, but I'm not going to go over all of them. So hopefully you enjoy what we do, and you support us, and we'll catch you next time.